Good evening. So this is part 3 of that Asus laptop, and as you can see it's quite a mess on top of the board. So tonight I'm going to explain you how and what happened. So the PCH blew. Now PCH is connected to the embedded controller, and that blew. So I had to replace it, and it is programmable. So I needed to reprogram this with its own firmware. So I'm going to show you how I did it. There's not much information out there on the internet to do this, so let's get started. So this is the RT8995 I'm using. You need an extending board, which I call a PBE1, which plug into this board like this, and this makes this then a full-on, is it 40 pin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It makes it a 44 pin program. This is a very nice program. It's got all different features. You can test monitors. You can read the firmware from the monitor via the VGA cable, via HDMI cable. So the EEPROM chip inside the monitor you can read via these two. So if you can output video or test pattern to LCD or VGA monitors, it's quite a nice thing. So this is the little adapter board, and this plugs in. As you can see, it shows chips to the bottom. This uses nearly up all the pins, so this plugs in. And over here, like that, and squeeze it down. So that's in place. Now the next step is, this is pin 1. So if I keep the cable straight, this is pin 1. This I hacked off for programming another laptop. So this is a 30 pin connector, but the first 6 pins we are not using on this. That's for the power button, caps lock, and a few other stuff. So the first 6 buttons we're not worried about. But on this connector, pin 1 sits on this side. So pin 1 is on this side, and pin 1 is on this side. So this cable is actually reversed. So this plugs into the keyboard connector, like this, and then gets pushed down. So that connects a programmer into the keyboard connector that is connected to the EC chip. So we use the keyboard connector to program the EC chip. There are other ways, like taking a chip off and soldering onto the board, but that's a lot of work. I'm looking to get another programmer, which I call the SVOD programmer, which is quite nice, which comes with a lot of different cables. This is a self-made cable, and all nice and funny stuff. So I would like to purchase that. If I get it, I'll definitely demo it. But it's quite expensive. It's $160 without express shipping, $178 with express shipping. So I would like to get that and do a demo on it, because I don't see much demos on the internet. But you also don't see much demos on reprogramming EC chips. Now the bin file the customer sent me, I was looking for this all over. It's only paid site you get this, so unfortunately I won't be able to share this bin file to you. So if you have this file, You're going to need to find it on their website. So this is a power wire. This, it's got no ground to this board, so you need to add a ground. So all we're going to do is solder this wire to one of these pins over here. So now we've got the programmer grounded to the motherboard. So this is the complete setup how to do it. So the next stage is we'll move over the computer. I'll plug in the programmer so long, and then I'll show you how I did the pin out to the programmer. Hope it makes it. There we go. Programmer is plugged in. You can see the lights going on there. So let's move over the computer and show you what I did there. Just get this light away here. Okay, so I've got the one side lifted. Just keep heating. I don't put any force on the chip. That one side's completely loose. There we go. And we can take it off. Back to the microscope. before I forget, there's one last thing. Pin 100 on this chip needs to go to ground as well. So I'll do that now out of shot, and then we go to computer. You have to find pin 100 on the chip and put a wire from there to ground. Alright, so that's pin 100 shorted to ground. So, as you can see, this is you don't get a schematic for this board. All you get is a board view. So I clicked on the board view and I wrote down all these pins. So from pin 1 to pin 30. Pin 31, 32 is ground, we don't care about those. So I wrote down all these pins. This is what's on this Excel sheet over here. The NC is not connected or not used pins. This is the laptop pinout, and this is the programmer pinout. So you can see it's reversed. Pin 1 is pin 30, pin 30 is pin 1, pin 100 to ground. So on the programmer, we use the IT8995 in-circuit programmer PEB1 and select that. So now it says currently selected and it's happy, and then it gives you a little website where you can go read it. Now we need to set the lines. Now I already done this on, I think it's on the Asus. Yes, there we go. So the idea now is to see where is KS06, and we go here, KS06 pin 19, KS06 pin 19, and then we go to KOS4 pin 17, pin 16, and so forth. So this is the pinout I used to program this chip. This chip is reprogrammed. What I will do is I'll select this and I'll read it back just as an example. But like I said, this is reprogrammed. I'm not going to reprogram the chip. You can also change the order, change sequence order, which means you can invert it and then have the right pins going to the right connectors. So I'm not going to touch that. So I'm going to select OK. I'm going to select this profile. Click OK. And then what we need to do is to power up the board. Now before we power up the board, we're going to select I'm going to select read. You should select open and then select the right bin file, which will be a 128 kilobyte bin file for this EC chip or Super IO chip. So I'm not going to do that. Cancel. You'll say open and you'll go right. After you press right, you switch on the power supply, because the programmer and that pin 100 forces the chip into programming mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the read button, because I'm not going to reprogram this chip. I'll press the read button, power on the power supply, and you'll see it goes start reading, auto verifying, read the chip, and we can save that file to, let's rename it to read 1 and save it. So that's how you program the EC chips on the Asus GL552VW. And that's all you need to know. That's all you need to do. It's simple, it's easy, it takes a bit of work setting up, and you can program the EC chip. This programmer doesn't do all EC chips. I think it doesn't do Nuvitron. Let's see. It doesn't do Nuvitron chips. That's why I would like to get the other program. So this is the tutorial how to reprogram the EC on these boards. After you read and write the chip, you can power down the board. You can close all your stuff. That's the one bad thing of this programmer. And we can close everything down. So now we can move back to the board. To the board, we can unplug the power. We can disconnect the cable. We can disconnect the ground. Take the programmer away. Just clean up that screw hole. I put some solder on. We can old battery, insert the new battery to the laptop. We need to remove the little wire for forcing the chip into programming mode on pin 100. Let me clean this up again. Yeah. So we don't have any RAM in the board. With a non-program EC, the light should come on, but you will have no response from the power button or anything like that. So let's switch on the board, and there you see we have lights flashing, power light is on, and if we short pin 5 and 6, we should be able to switch off the motherboard. 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Board is off. So that means the EC chip is programmed. Heatsink is getting warm, which means we have full voltage. So we're going back to the power rails quickly. You can't see that. Let's put it over there. Maybe let's do it over here. Let's just check all the power rails quickly. So let's turn on the board. on. Make sure not to short anything. Let's have a look quickly. So, PCH voltage, which was sorted. We are back. 3.3 and 5 volt. 3.3, 3.3 and 5 volts is present. CPU V core 1 volt, 1 volt, 1 volt present. GPU V core present, present. Charger should be 0.2, sometimes it's 2 volts, 0.2 is fine. 1.4 volt rail present, 1.2 volt rail present. CPU voltage present, and RAM voltage present. This is DDR4 board, so it uses 1.25 volts for DDR4. So this board is fully working at this point in time, and all we need to do is put it back into the case, plug in the fan, and see if the OS and SSD is still right, that the SSD didn't die because of the PCH that died. I'm not sure if it's SATA or NVMe, PCI Express, I'm not sure. We'll have to check that out. So in a few minutes we'll have a look. The laptop back in its housing, and let's power it on. Just find my little tweezer here. Short pin 5 and 6. Oh no. We've got no display. So we sorted out the EC chip, we sorted the PCH, we sorted out the charging chip, we sorted out the USBs, and we got no display. Let me try one thing. Is it possible that the RAM chip died as well? Let's plug in 4 gig strip, DDR4, LCD is connected. I need to test all the USB ports, so we'll plug this in. Alright, hopefully, let's hold thumbs, as this works. I'm being months busy with this laptop, so fan spin, lights went off, and we got display. So yet again, RAM strip is faulty as well. Let's see if we use the external keyboard. Let's plug in a dongle. This was, I'll show you now. Yes, USB works. Let's try the other one. Yes, works. Let's try the third one. Yes, all 3 USB ports is working. That's very, very good news. So next step, let's turn this off again. let's plug in his hard drive and see if we can boot into his OS. Hopefully his hard drive is fine. I hope really his hard drive is fine. Just go find it quickly and plug it in. So this is his hard drive. This is his Wi-Fi card. Plug in his Wi-Fi card. Let's plug in his hard drive. Let's find a screw. And a screwdriver. Just somewhere. Screwdriver is too big. Let's find a screwdriver quickly. Okay, screwdriver. Start this up here. So his battery is dead, his RAM is dead. I just hope the hard drive survived. I need to sort out, I don't know what these people did to the spur wires. I need to sort that out as well. And the little sleep sensors not here as well. So yes, a little magnet in here. So I'll have to, I don't know, figure out some way of getting the sleep sensor back in there. Okay, let's see. Keep on misplacing my tweezers. So excited. Okay, here we go. Got power. Till thumbs full. Then went into the BIOS. That's a good sign. Hard drive light is flashing. We've got a little circle on the screen. If there's a name, I will blank it out. I'll need to test the audio as well. Plug in the speakers. No. Let's just first get this thing into the OS. Man oh man, what a trip. It just switched off. That's interesting. Let's try it again. I wonder, I didn't put any new thermal paste on that heatsink. It could be that the CPU is overheating without any new thermal paste. But so far it's a good sign. That little circle running, It's a very, very good sign. I still think maybe we've got an overheating issue because of the thermal paste. If the switch is off quicker now, it's most probably an overheating issue. Come on. Off again. Stop the video. Let's redo the heatsink paste on this laptop and come back to it. Okay, so I reinserted all the screws on the bottom. Let's see what happens. Fan, picture. We've got a please wait sign, which means it's going into recovery mode. Putting about 2 amps at 19 volts. Okay, let's go advanced options, continue to Windows 10. Man, I'm so happy. It's been months and months and months. I had this laptop since the 6th of last year, 2019. I was battling 3 months just to get the EC firmware. And I had to reprogram the BIOS as well because they messed around with the BIOS. I'm more confident now that it will stay cooler and was probably going to Windows. Putting 1 amp, 1.5, 2 amps, 2.5 amps. There we go. And we are in Windows. I'm not sure if there's any... Okay, so they've got a password on this. So I'll call that a fix. I'll call this a fix. Definitely a fix. What I'll do is I'll remove his hard drive. I've got a hard drive with Windows on. And install all the drivers, see if the Wi-Fi is working, see if the sound is working, and all those 10,000 other things. And I'll let you know. Thanks for watching. Cheers.